Today I'm gonna be making a universal paint mixer. This video is being recorded before the previous video went public. So in case you did submit some of your suggestions in the comments, I haven't been able to read them just yet. If you haven't done so, please do it here. I would honestly love to see your suggestions in regards to the automation process. On the blueprint for the auto mixer I'm going to be making today, I would like to demonstrate why I think it's pointless or why I don't understand how the automation would be helpful, at least in this case. What I want is a blueprint which I can tell I want purple paint and it's gonna know that it needs to mix blue and red together. So normally I would find a place where there's blue and red paint, put the paint mixer down, extract the paint and connect it to the mixers. Then we've got purple paint and there's no problem. So that's not a lot of work, but in order to have a universal paint mixer, we need to provide it with all the paint possible. That means we need an RGB conveyor belt. I'm gonna get to why the conveyor belt is totally inefficient and just dumb in a second. The AI itself needs to know where it has red paint, green paint and blue paint, so that it can work with that. Which means here we need to split this conveyor belt into 3. We're gonna have this item filter here, and we need to only let the red paint through. So here we're gonna have conveyor belt with red paint. Then we need to do the same for these two. So we have those two filters, red, green, and the rest is blue, RGB. So normally I would like to say I want purple paint, but the game doesn't allow us to split the information purple into blue and red. So what we need to do is have 3 buttons, one for each paint. So the input needs to be the base colors, which need to be combined so that I can get my final color. And these are gonna tell us, do I need red, yes or no? Do I need green, yes or no? Do I need blue, yes or no? 3 of them on means white paint. Now we need some more filters. If we are not gonna use the red paint, it's just gonna clog up right here. Which means that if this button for red is on, we need to use the red paint, and if not, we need to discard it so that the conveyor belt doesn't get stuck. Which means we're gonna need another filter, and this one we're gonna connect to the button. Oh, but I see that doesn't work like that. Okay, so here we might want to use the transistors. Okay, a slight issue. I think I have failed earlier than I wanted to. What I want to do doesn't work at all. Here I want to say, do we want red paint through or not? If we do, let's go. Button pressed, red goes through. Button off, I want to send it to the trash can. But button off in this case means no signal. I need the red signal to go through to here, and if we don't want the red signal, then we need to input a different color or a shape or something else. Okay, I might have a solution, but it's not gonna be pretty. We know that on this conveyor belt here, there's never gonna be red paint. So we can put a belt reader in there, and you see that it's only green or blue at the time. So I might be able to hack that and use this signal to go to here, to the filter, in case we don't want red paint. Okay, so look at this. The button is not on, which means we don't want red paint. So the red paint is coming through here. Here we know that it is red paint, and here it gets sent to the trash can because we don't want to mix it. Now if we press the button on, the paint suddenly coming through. Oh my god, that's incredible! So let me show you what I did. It's not pretty. I feel like we're missing those 3 logic stuff, and it could be really useful. But what we're doing here is constant signal for red paint goes to here. So now we know it's red paint, that's always gonna be there. And here we only want to let red paint through if the button is pressed on. So button pressed on means red goes through here into that filter. If we don't want red paint, the button gets pushed off, but now we need to feed it some different signal than red. And we can't really negate the red signal here, right? If I were to put this away, what? Wait, what? Okay, side note, we unlocked free play mode. So now we get randomly generated shapes. Alright, so it seems that now we really need to have some sort of automation. A build anything machine. So we need for a second of those shapes. And I'm not sure where... Oh, look at that! We unlock those things! Go back to our mixer. I thought that here I can't just say true or false. And that I need to, you know, show a paint, a shape or something. So what I did is, if the button is not pressed, then we feed it this different signal of different paint, which is always going to be here. But now it seems that I can just get rid of all of this and simply say, do we want red? Yes or no? Okay, it's working. So all of that work for nothing. Never mind, I'm glad that it's much easier now. RGB. So now we have this completed with the wires. There's R, G and B buttons. Now with the level unlock, we've also unlocked these new things. This is a virtual cutter. Oh my god, that's incredible. What does that do? Virtual rotator, stacker, painter, and unstacker. Okay, now it's all coming together. Shape analyzer. Yes, that's what I wanted. I knew we're gonna have to be able to analyze a shape we need to get to the hub and compare. Okay, those are some incredible unlocks. With these we can really make the make anything machine. So you, Universal Painter, please wait a second while I analyze the other tools. We're gonna take this shape and we want to analyze it. Okay, and I don't even need the shape, because using the constant signal, we can simply get, let's take the shape we currently want to unlock the next level, and we can say analyze. So it's gonna tell us that we need stars and white paint. This shape is the same on every side, so I'm gonna use the blueprint shape. Oh, I see, and the analyzer always analyzes the top right corner. So if I want to look at the top left corner, what I should be able to do is use the virtual rotator, and I rotated this input logical shape to the right, and now the top right corner is a square painted blue. That's genius. On top of that square painted blue, there's a white circle. So I should be able to virtually unstack this. So the virtual unstacker says this is at the bottom and this is at the top. So now we've got the square there and we've also got the circle, which is white. That's gonna be a lot of work to create something like this automatically. I'm gonna upgrade the belt speed and let's take a look at the, what's that, virtual cutter. So how does that work? Okay, so it can cut the shape and tell us the information about the halves. Not sure how that's gonna be useful. Virtual stacker. Okay, so we could stack this shape and this shape on top of itself, and yeah, that's the blueprint shape. Because we split it and then we stack it again. Wow, that's incredible. What else? What else? And virtual painter. So I think paint goes here and a shape goes here. So let's take the circle to there. Yeah, blue and circle means blue circle. Wow, that's genius. And now we can compare two shapes as well. So Mr. Not painted circle and Mr. White circle. Oh, disco again. Stop, no disco. There. Not there. What did I want? Right, 0. White circle, not painted circle, that's 0. Not equal. But if I were to say white circle and white circle, that's a 1. It's the same shape. These are incredible. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to use those with the paint mixer just now. Simply because I haven't thought about these. And I would need a lot of time to figure this out. But I think that this should be correct. So now I could say I want purple, which means red and blue. So now we're getting red and blue through. So what do we need to do now? Now we need a painter of some sort And we need to be able to know that we're getting red through and blue through, and that it's only two colors, and then we need to mix those two together. I fear that we're gonna need to cover all the possible combinations of colors in order to know which conveyor belt is flowing. That's 4 combinations, because we've got 4 possible outputs. Now I'm not sure I could do it in a more clever way, since there's no virtual paint mixer. I don't even think we're gonna need this at all now. But you know, it doesn't matter. We can just treat this as a learning experience, which is great. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this other way than the way I said. And I can simply say, are we getting red paint here? So does this belt reader say 1, the paint is flowing? I shouldn't do it like that. I should simply take the signal from the button. So normally in software engineering, you would say, this is the one. This is the only thing that can change. That's the place you should take the signal from, the button. But here, due to the wires, I'm just gonna read the belt again. So if this button is on, it means that this belt with the red paint is flowing and it outputs a 1 as well. But this one is a product of this one. So it's really not the best way of doing this, but I am able to do it like that. So here I think I should be able to do something like this. We've got 2 readers which say whether we've got red and green paint or not. There's AND, which means red we've got, and at the same time we've got green. And if that is the case, we should be getting yellow here. So let's try this. I'm gonna say, dear mixer, I want to get red and green paint together, which should be yellow. So both of those are flowing. These filters are letting them through, and we've got yellow paint. If I were to turn this off, then we should stop receiving yellow paint, which we are, because the buttons are not letting the paints through. Now the other case might be we've got red and blue. Red and blue should be purple, so here we should be getting purple if I say red, not green, blue. Red and green coming through, not red and green, which means that this filter should go to here. And why isn't this on? Right, because I've got a clash of signals right here. So now it should be working, and it is. So both of those readers see that there's red and blue at the same time, which means that they tell those filters, yes, you should go ahead and mix the paint. I didn't have to put those new belt readers in place, I could just reuse the old ones, but I don't really want to have more of a mess with those wires. It's already a mess. This isn't a real spaghetti code, but it's not far from it. So, do we have blue and do we have red at the same time? Let's try it. Blue and red. Red, not green, blue. No, sorry, that's blue and green. My apologies. So, not red, but blue and green. I think the issue here is that it's clogged up. So, I need to release those two. And we're getting cyan. Now, if I were to clean this up, I might simply use a single paint mixer and merge the lanes together, since I always know that these and these are not going to be working at the same time, so that should be fine. And it's true that I might need a universal paint mixer. So this can need some clearing up, but for now, we've got one last case to figure out, and that's white paint. So those 3 trash cans, we need to move over there, and that's gonna be white paint. Mix all of those together. We can't just do the same thing we've been doing so far and simply say, if we're getting all of those 3 at the same time, so red and green, and the output goes to here, and at the same time we've got and the other paint, then, and this is our output, which really matters. So this is 1, this is 1, and they both are 1, and this is 1 as well. Only then can we let all those 3 go through. So I think it should be these 2 and these 2, and the result would go into here, and now we should be getting white paint. This is crazy, but if I turn all those 3 at the same time, we're getting yellow. Of course we're getting yellow. Oh! Well, this is annoying, but there you've got debugging and coding in practice. So obviously if all those 3 are true, then it means that those 2 are true as well, and we're getting yellow and nothing else. So what we need to do is put white first, and I'm too lazy to do it, and I hate it already. I hate it so much. Okay, I have to do it. Before I redo this, I would like to show you why I hate this conveyor belt. We've got red and green and then blue, which means that out of 4 items in here, every second item is blue. So the proportion we've got here is 25% green, 25% red, and 50% blue. Ideally, we would like to have a third of each color. That's not as easy to do since we've only got those stackers. What we could do is equalize it slightly. So here we've got too much white paint. So what we could do is take some red and green and mix those 2 together and add them to here. Then we're gonna have a different proportion. So we've got a new conveyor belt with every second color being red and every first color being green. And we're just gonna add it to this conveyor belt right here. And now we should see that every 4th color is blue, and in those patches of 4 we should have 2 reds, 1 green, and then 2 greens, 1 red. So now we've got less blue than before. We've got only 25% blue here, but we've got 35% red and 35% green. That's not great, but it's better than 50, 25, 25. But I would say that maybe in the end it doesn't matter and we don't have to do all this, and we just need to bring 3 colors together. So I've made this beautiful spaghetti conveyor belt situation. Basically what I did is move the white making factory from the end to the start, and I reconnected those starting conveyor belts to go to here first, and then if not, then they go back to their original slots. So let's try making white. All of those go to here. They should all be set to true. And we're getting white paint. Look at this. That's white paint. Okay, now we don't want red in the mix, which means only green and blue is gonna come through. It takes some time for the red to, come out. So we're still getting white for some time. But once we run out of red, there, green and blue is going this way, getting discarded, green and blue, and we're getting cyan consistently. That's awesome. Now we don't want green and we want blue and red, so only blue and red going through. Again, takes some time for the green to get discarded, but now blue and red coming through, and we've got purple pretty consistently. That's awesome. Now what's the other color? Yellow. That's red, green, no blue. Again, take some time for it to clear up, for this blue to get away. It's away, and now we're only getting red and green to here, and we've got yellow. That's incredible. I really made a universal auto mixer. I'm so happy. Then later, if we have the balls and the patience, we can clear this up a lot because this is ugly, and we can honestly make a universal paint mixer which looks somewhat decent. But for now, this can be used as our blueprint. To finish off, I'm gonna do mixing and painting, I think, just to equalize the levels of tiers of our upgrades. Well, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And please do share your thoughts in the comments. I would say that you've had quite a few watching this.